Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and in this one I am sharing some of Dina's brand new release, very exciting, new transparencies which are called Tiny's Set 2. And there is also a stamp set called You Matter and two stencils, one called Varied and one called Stacked. It's a really exciting release. So in this video I'm going to be playing with one of the transparencies and then just mixing in a few other bits and bobs of Dina's. So I'm starting off with three colours. Here I've got turquoise, sky and lapis. And then this is one of the new stencils. So this one is called Stacked, I think. No, it's called Varied. Begging pardon, sorry about that. It's called Varied. I'm going to love it, aren't I? Because of course it's circles. So it's just going to add to my absolute obsession with using circles in my art journaling. I don't know what it is. And then look, another circle stencil. So exciting. So this is lovely because with these two stencils, you've got three different sizes of circles that you can use. So here I've just added some stenciling over the top of those first strokes of colour, and then used the same colours for the stenciling that I've used in the initial stroke of paint. So then I've grabbed a face from the Tiny's Set 2 transparencies, and here I'm just adding some little touches of white, some highlights into the eyes, just to help those pop a little bit when it goes onto my background. Then I decided I would add a bit of apricot colour onto the face just to help that stand out even more, and then that's going to be stuck in place. So one thing that I noticed with this image is that the eyelashes reminded me of like branches with leaves on. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go with that and I'm going to exaggerate that. So when I add small images like this onto my page, I quite like to draw the lines out that are on them just to kind of make my image belong more on my page. And you can see here already now that kind of feels like it was there all along, with just adding those simple lines. So this is the Branches Redux stencil that came out in Dina's last release, I think it was, or the one before, a recent one anyway. Here I am using, I think that might be aloe or sage. I decided I would use some greens and add some branches. So I'm using this stencil to just add some parts of those onto the page. I want them to kind of look like they're growing off those lines that I've drawn out from the face. So that's why I'm only adding parts. Now at the minute it's looking a bit stiff, isn't it? But I'm going to kind of loosen this up in a second by doing a bit of finger painting. It's not something that I often do, but I do enjoy it when I do, and I think you get that really lovely loose look as well, because obviously you've got less control when you're finger painting. So here I'm just blobbing some lime paint on to start off with onto those leaves, and I'm just going to start to build up some different colours onto the page, and then I've got a bit of paint left over, so why not add some little dots as well. So next I think I use evergreen. So I'm just starting to build up the tones of green on the page, going in with slightly darker colours each time, layering the colour over the top, and you can see it's almost giving that sort of painterly effect with the marks that I'm making. This is fur, so again I'm not looking for neat tidy precision, I'm just wanting an idea of leaves on that stencil image that I initially put down, and I'm really loving how loose this is looking now. So again, just going in, adding lots of dots with my finger. Then I brought the green down onto the image here as well, grabbed a smaller brush and just added some smaller leaves onto those lines. Not really overthinking, just making marks with my brush. Then I loosely outlined those leaves, not worrying about whether they were the exact size that they had been when I stenciled. I'm just going for quite a loose line around those shapes that I've created. Just picked up a bit of paint there, so just pulled it off my nib. Got to be really careful that you don't take your paint pen through wet paint because it can almost stop them working. yeah, I have had quite a few disasters with them. Being a bit impatient with paint pens and wanting to get cracked on, and you just got to wait for things to dry or force it to dry. Obviously, when there's a transparency on your page, you've got to be a little bit careful. This is an art by Marlene Duo paint marker, and I'm just using that lighter green just to bring another highlight back onto those leaves on top of the dark fur. And then I'm using a tiny attacher to staple that in. Now I wanted to bring a little bit of contrast. So Dina is always talking about value change, isn't she? And I'm just pulling a little bit of night around one side of these leaves. I'm brushing it on and then giving it a little bit of a smudge with my finger and just creating a little bit of shadow behind one side of the leaves and just helping to kind of pop those out from the background a little bit. So I'm guessing that I'm kind of creating a little bit of value change here, and then I just decided I'd pull a little bit along those lines as well that I'd drawn, mostly because it was there. Then I've grabbed raspberry. This is one of Dina's new colours. And I just thought like a little pop of colour on there that's a nice contrast, almost like berries, I suppose. That was really pretty, just to pull those across the page as well. Okay, then I'm going in with my large Posca pen. Apologies that it's a little bit off camera here, but I was filming a reel as well for Instagram. So it's difficult to get the two cameras in the right place. So those dots are just bringing a little bit of contrast onto the page too, a little bit of stamping. You will know there are things that I always do. I love to add a bit of text to my pages and some dots, just little techniques that I always use. Then I've stamped out one of the quotes from the You Matter stamp set, the new one, and I put that onto white because I thought that would be a really nice contrast with all these bold colours. I don't often use lapis, but I've got to say I absolutely am loving it on this page. I think I may well be reaching for that a little bit more often. And then I decided I would just pop my words on going across my page like that, following the flow of those leaves and branches that are on there. And that's pretty much it for this page. So this is the first of a few videos that will be going up sharing ideas of pages with Dina's new release. Watch out for them on Instagram too. There'll be shorter reels on there, but if you want the more detailed videos, then head to the YouTube channel where you will be able to see those as they get released. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.